If you're launching a podcast or you've already started, there's one big mistake that I see almost every beginner make, and it could be stopping you from getting listeners and growing your show. Today, I'm sharing the number one podcasting mistake beginners make and how to fix it so you can launch your podcast the right way and avoid these common mistakes. Hey there, I'm Liz Chapman, and I help entrepreneurs like you launch and grow podcasts that captivate your audience and build your business. If you want to create a successful, sustainable podcast, this video is for you. And guess what? The doors to Podcast Lunch Simplified are officially open. This is my step-by-step coaching program designed to take you from overwhelmed and unsure to launching a chart-topping podcast with confidence in just 6 weeks. Spots are limited, so if you're serious about launching your podcast, click the link in the description below to join Podcast Launch Simplified today. Okay, now let's talk about the number one podcasting mistake that could be holding you back. The biggest mistake I see new podcasters make is not having a launch plan. They just record an episode, upload it, and hope people will listen. But podcasting doesn't work like that. Without a strategy, your show can get lost in all the noise and you're going to struggle to grow your audience. Your audience doesn't know your podcast is coming, so they're not even excited to listen. You're not building momentum, which means fewer downloads at launch. And then Apple Podcast prioritizes podcasts that get traction quickly. So without a plan, you're probably missing your chance to rank on the Apple charts. And the best part about ranking is being able to be found by new listeners. So if you think of the top 200 on Apple Podcasts, like Google's first page, the higher up your show is, the easier it will be to be found by new listeners. So I'm going to show you exactly how to launch your podcast the right way. If you want listeners from day one, you need to market your podcast before it launches. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to announce your podcast at least 4 weeks before launch. We're going to tease your first episodes on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever platforms you're on. You're going to build an email list of people that are excited to listen from day one. And then you're going to ask your audience to help pick episode topics or your cover art. This just helps them get involved and then be excited when your podcast releases. Kind of think of it like a movie premiere. The best shows don't just drop out of nowhere. They build the hype so people can't wait to listen once they're live. Here's another mistake: launching with just one episode. So, how does this hurt your growth? New listeners can't binge multiple episodes, which lowers your playtime. Apple Podcast prioritizes shows with a strong early engagement, meaning lots of downloads, lots of subscribes, and then finished listening time. So they've listened to your episode from the start to the finish. And people don't get enough value from just one episode to want to hit subscribe. So to fix that, we're going to drop 3 episodes on launch day. This gives new listeners more to listen to. It will lead to higher downloads and better retention. Inside the Podcast Launch Simplify course, we talk about this and we go over your first 3 episode strategy. So once your podcast is live, you need to get people engaging with it right away. So how Apple ranks shows on podcasts include a few factors. So the first one is the number of new subscribers, your total downloads, and your listener retention, how long they stay engaged. And then kind of a misconception is that ratings and reviews play into that, but they do not. But having ratings and reviews are great social proof that you can put out on social media and in your email. So how do you get more reviews and subscribers? Ask in your episodes, if you're enjoying this, hit subscribe and leave a review. Post an Instagram story tutorial showing them how to leave a review. Run a podcast launch giveaway. So for example, leave a review and you'll be entered to win a free coaching session. You don't have to do anything expensive. It could be a $10 gift card to Starbucks. It could be a coaching session. It could be a low ticket offer you have. It could be something that you created, a freebie that you created just for this purpose. It doesn't have to be anything like huge. And then if you really want to skyrocket your podcast visibility at launch, create a launch team. So a launch team is a small group of friends, followers, clients who will download and subscribe to your podcast on launch day, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, listen to your entire episodes, all 3 of them, and your trailer, and share your show on social media. So, how you're going to set this up is you're going to ask 10 to 20 of your engaged followers to join your launch team. You're going to offer early access to like a bonus episode or private Q&A or like a thank you gift like we just talked about in the giveaway. And then send them a simple launch day checklist with what to do. And then even a small launch team can give your podcast the traction it needs to start strong and rank higher on Apple Podcasts. All right. So if you want to launch your podcast the right way and avoid the number one beginner mistake, this is what we're going to do. You're going to market your podcast before launch to build excitement. You're going to drop multiple episodes on launch day so listeners can binge listen. You're going to ask for reviews and subscribers to boost your visibility, and you're going to create a launch team to maximize your engagement. And if you're serious about launching your podcast the right way, Podcast Launch Simplified is officially open for enrollment. This program gives you a step-by-step roadmap to go from overwhelmed to launching a chart-topping podcast with confidence. Spots are limited, so if you're ready to launch, click the link in the description below to join Podcast Launch Simplified today. Did you like this video? I hope so. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications for more podcasting tips every week, and I'll see you in the next video.